My name is Sheila Carreno, and we're just going to pick right up here with uh, session number 6 of Handbook for the New Paradigm, Volume 1. So the light begins to change its focus as the window changes in what might be considered depth, as layers of intentional activity will be added. The focus becomes more intense in the area on which it is aimed. Now, this can be an advantage as it can bring the focus to a greater clarity. That the cloak of darkness appears to you to be getting more intense can have its positive aspects. The closing of the noose is not as unobserved by the masses as you might think. Intuitive feelings are becoming aroused. The critical mass of awareness is being aroused, and the other side is well aware of this. Remember, there is a weak link within their plan. They are going to demand that their army of militia turn on their own people, indeed, their own friends and family. That is a key point on which there will be reactions that they cannot predict. This allows openings in their plan. They seem minor to you in your consideration, but these can be used to great advantage, for sometimes a moment is all the focus of light may need. Ours will not be a plan of resistance. It will be the lifting up of a vision into manifestation through the minds of many. When the picture of what has been carefully planned for them is repulsive enough to their imaginations, don't you think that they will turn with enthusiasm to a vision that thrills them? Remember, there will be those who will choose otherwise. There will be a division. There will be enough that have been either won over or will be lost in the desire of continuing to experience the menu which has been fed to them in the media barrage directed at them. This will be a point you will have to deal with, as will all that join in this plan for transcending the decayed into the new birthing opportunity. All will not choose to join. Remember, this was written in 2018, and boy, it's very clear. And here you must recognize the free choice of experience given to each. It is not so much hardening your heart toward them as an attitude of allowance. I would even, this is my feeling, not the book, I would even go so far as to say it is loving, actually, to allow beings to choose what they desire to experience. No matter what your opinion is of what someone's experiencing, that's not for you to decide. It's not for me to decide that you can't experience your life in whatever way you choose to experience that. No one has the right to tell anyone else any of that. That's the truth, as far as I'm concerned. It's when we try to classify, oh, this is that and that's this. It's all opinion, no matter what anybody wants to say. It's all opinion, and everybody has the right to their own. For me, anyway, back to the book here. Remember, there is no death, only the end of an experience, and eternity is incomprehensible. It is not for any of you to judge what the experiences of each individual means to the completion within each soul. That's what I mean by the opinion piece that I keep talking about. It's not for any of us to choose what somebody is meant to experience here, and what they need to complete an experience. The soul draws to itself a composite and makes of these experiences patterns that dazzle the imagination. The dance of duality, darkness and light, as you will, if you will, it says as you will, but I feel as if you will, are part of the play. You must not become disheartened at any time, for there will be those who will surprise you. It is for you to keep your eye on the vision and to watch it unfold into creation from your limited perspective. That too will be fascinating. I feel like that's true. How will you know? It will be difficult in the birthing phase, for in the beginning, the process of a babe hardly looks like anything but a maze of dividing cells with no apparent organization. At the critical point, all that miraculously changes into a form. Then the challenge of preventing an abortion will become a dual focus. However, that too shall be handled. Remember this as you begin to help yourselves. More and more cooperation from various forms of manifested light can assist in ways you and even I cannot imagine and may never be privy to know about. I just said to Lisa this morning that I feel within myself a relaxing of this ever driving need to know, or I should say more classify, right? The how and all of that. So it is the focus on the vision that shall attract this assistance towards success. That's what I also feel. We can continue to present this information to you, but there can also be discussion. Questions can be asked as long as they are pertinent to the process at this point. No divining allowed. Just focus on one stage at a time. As to what your continuing roles shall be as the plan unfolds, will be revealed as each day arrives. I have had that guidance that everything that is required of me to know, I will know as it presents. There is no already existing vision except a dim outline that is set up by the influence of the universal laws. At the time of filling in these outlines, those will be made known to the founding parents in very simplistic terms. KISS will be the order of the day, and that's all caps there. And that's order of the day for the entire project. And I think that's keep it simple, stupid. I may be wrong because they don't actually explain that, but that's what I think that is. How is it going to be possible within the contributions to the vision by many? Trust the process. The planet is experiencing on an entirely different level than it was when the founding fathers of the U.S. followed the same path. Note, this time it is the founding parents. And that in itself is a raising of the level of experience. Both energies shall be present, and it shall make for a doubled energy focus. Though women knew the last time and supported as allowed, theirs was not a contributory role except as an outside influence. Neither shall dominate, for the vision must move beyond such selfishness and bring about a synergistic wholeness. At this point, You must not concern yourselves with the manifestation of their plan. You know it, you are expecting it, and so it must be ignored. Your focus must be on the moment and what is to be done. If that which you do now puts you in danger, perhaps you should begin laying plans for doing something different. Not yet in this moment, but soon. Perhaps this surface activity cycle is drawing to a close. It is only a suggestion to be considered, though you have already toyed with it. We leave it to your discretion. Corporate business will be allowed for activities that do not make big waves. Opportunities shall appear for your consideration. Travel shall be safe for a time yet. If you miss a plane or a flight is canceled, take it within your stride. There may be many reasons apparent in retrospect as to why you were not to be on a particular mode of transportation. When travel is no longer safe, you will know. The focus of your intent now is to work within the activities of the parenting process. That's the end of session number 6. We're going to go right smack into number 7 now. And just to keep you up to date, we're on page 37. There is much being done to bring into concrete experience the truth of the statement that the unseen world is more real than the one that is seen by the mass consciousness on the planet now. That feels so right smack on. Remember, this was published in 2018. This is 2023 as I'm reading this, and I must say that it feels very, 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 very true, even more so now. These concrete demonstrations of the nature of this unseen causal effect are not only stimulating awareness, but bringing forth the opportunity to use this knowledge to encourage the visioning of the process that together we are beginning to bring forth. In parentheses here, how is that for talking all the way around the subject, in parentheses? It helps to bring out of the realm of wishing into the realization that there is a way to counter their methods without adopting them. The work to be done is not at this third dimensional level of resistance, but as I have emphasized before, at the causal level of creating what is another focus entirely. And I realize that this is hard for some. And I'm stepping away from the book for a second. Because I just had a conversation this morning where this was really heavily front and center. For me, this is an imperative thing that this is stating, this channeling here. The only way forward for me, my guidance is being open to being shown the new, completely new. The very definition of insanity is to continue to do the things that make no sense, that don't get you anywhere, and just do them and do them and do them and do them and do them, and getting the same results every time. That's the very definition of insanity. And so therefore things, something new is required. And this is the focus for me. Back to the book. The reality of the possibility of this process has already been demonstrated in fields that indicate these processes can be adopted and focused in accordance with what is needed. The already proven success of these, quote, theories adds the inspiration needed to bring forth the birthing activity. It is recommended that the messages be held for those who would be encouraged to join the birthing process in the immediate future. These people will quickly see the correlation, and of course, some are already in the awareness of some or all of its contents. A basic awareness of both sides of the forces present is needed, and that information is available, and it is necessary that it be known to those selected as the parents of this process. It is a human weakness to assume that what is known to one is also known to all. Okay, that's a very interesting statement there that I want to mark with my highlighter. Bear with me just a moment. It is a human weakness to assume that what is known to one is also known to all. It's available, but maybe not known. Details are not necessary, but an overview would be most helpful with an available catalog of well-documented information for those desiring a more comprehensive understanding in areas not familiar to them. I'd love to see that. The process mentioned in the message are, of course, known to those engaged in this broad research, and these strive to be merely known, but not to create a situation that will bring public awareness. At that point, their existence is a threat to the powers that assume invincibility. These would then be in a precarious situation as the noose tightens. Their importance cannot be stressed enough. This is the reality check needed to assure the success of the understanding that these higher vibrational realities need to be, quote, pulled into the experience of this planet. Okay, that's very interesting. I'm going to also highlight that since my phone normally does not ding, and it just did that entire passage there. This is the reality check needed to assure the success of the understanding that these higher vibrational realities need to be, quote, pulled into the experience of this planet. And the only way, in my view, for that to happen is exactly what they're speaking on, focus and attention. That's what I've always felt it takes to do this. That's how we create our own reality as we move. I just have felt that we are doing that whether we believe it or not. That is what's happening. Back to the book. As the, quote, message reveals, the comfort zone under threat can bring violent reactions, not only in the circles of the opposition, but among the general public. Well, ain't we seen that in the last few years? Hello, Karen. Right? No, I'm serious, right? The opposition at its highest levels knows that it is threatened by a possible collapse of their operation from the inside out. The mass consciousness is merely reacting in a, quote, Pavlov's dog fashion, possibility thinking is not acceptable. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, see, I can see possibility, plausibility, potentiality even, where some folks just, they just cannot. They, for whatever the reason, and that's cool. It's just, it's a whole different Yeah, point of focus, right? Herein lies the need for careful movements within the project until the critical mass is reached. This is why the approach to the plan must be by word of mouth to known individuals who then take the responsibility of approaching those who they know have the proper sympathetic awareness and desire to see the situation change. The ability to identify with the change to be made at levels behind the quote, five senses experience must be paramount in the beginning parenting process. It isn't the number of people involved at this stage, but the quality of the awareness that is important. And these words are quality of awareness. And for me, that's presence, right? I interpret that as presence. The ability to possibility think, the openness to expansion of awareness, and the ability to assimilate and postulate into new synthesis. The known and unknown is of critical importance. In other words, choose carefully. With that step clearly in mind, the proliferation will take care of itself. The clarity of the first combinations will set the stage for the entire process. And I'm going to stop it here. I think these are, it's going to probably end up being 2 sessions at a go, because 20 to 30 minutes, I think that's about enough for a video for these. So I want to say, I hope that you will move towards that which brings you the highest joy in each moment that presents itself to you. It is a matter of your perspective and your perception of the perspective that you are currently holding. And for me, slowing myself down and contemplating my perspective and asking myself, is there another way to see this? Is there another way? Is there something else I'm not seeing? Have I made some assumptions? There's lots of stuff to do in that. So I'll come right back with the next one. Be well, my friends. Till next time.